Welcome back, everybody. This is the Jonnymar, and I am continuing with Final Fantasy II. So we are currently in the Cyclone. In our last episode, we managed to get Ultima, and afterwards we found out that the Emperor actually created this massive cyclone and used its power to destroy a bunch of the towns in this area. So now we have recovered our wyvern from our wyvern egg that we left in the life spring a long time ago. And we entered the Cyclone. And so now we are going to head to the top, and we're going to try to kill the Emperor once and for all to end this war between the Empire and the Rebellion. So, as you might expect, we have to climb quite a few stairs. There are some paths here that we have to take. So we're going to go up here first, and then we'll come back here to head to the left. And we're going to pick up some items, and they're actually some semi-useful items, depending on kind of what you use for your attacks. So the first item is the Ripper, which is one of the stronger knives in the game. I'm not using knives anymore, so I am not going to use it. But it is there if you want to use it. The next item we're going to pick up is actually on the next floor, and it is one of the strongest axes in the game, and that is the Poison Axe. So all we need to do is traverse a little bit more, head up to the third floor of the Cyclone. We're going to get these thunder damage floor plates that, you know, should have been in Mysidia Tower on the thunder part, but wasn't, and that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to meet you back at that particular kind of checkpoint on the first floor, and we will continue to the left as opposed to heading up the stairs. Alright, so we're going to continue onward. Now, in between episodes, I got a couple of questions from viewers asking about whether or not I was going to do the extra content of this game. So in the Dawn of Souls version, which this game is based on, here's another pathway we're going to take to the north first, and then we'll come back to it to head south. There's a couple items up here that we're going to grab, although they're not as useful, they're just diamond equipment. But if you want that stuff, you can certainly grab it. So the answer to whether I'm going to do the post-game content or the extra content is yes. I'm going to do the soul of, and we have a new enemy here, the Lamia. Basically looks a lot like the Lamia queen that we already beat. Not as difficult though, so pretty easy to kill. Especially if you get teleport to hit. Well, it killed the captains. But we'll take out Lamia with our awesome haste animation there, as Guy will probably kill her, yes, with a strike. I love that haste animation. Such a cool spell. And we get a flame bow. But yes, I'm going to be doing the Soul of Rebirth Shrine, which is an extra dungeon they added after the game ends. So it's kind of post-game content. Definitely I'll be doing that. Now the PSP version actually added some other stuff called the Arcane Labyrinth. And so we have another split here, so I'm going to take the left path first. And I've never done the Arcane Labyrinth. I've looked into it a little bit and kind of read about it, and it seems like it's not that much of a thing to do. I mean, it's a couple dungeons, and it's based on some stuff like keywords that you've picked up through dialogue. And you do get some magic at the end, but I haven't decided if I'm actually going to do it or not, again, because I haven't done it before, and it doesn't seem like it's really worth it. But in the interest of kind of showing off everything, and there is a path to the right here across these little plates here, but all it leads to is some empty trap rooms, so I'm not going to go up there. Hey, and we got some more new enemies. The Wood Golem looks big and menacing, and the Royal Guard, which we're going to see more of in the very near future. So we're going to make our guys run really fast again and try to take them out quickly. And I figured I'd show off Ultima too for those who are interested in seeing the spell animation. Even though it sucks, it's still got a pretty cool spell animation. So, the answer again is definitely I'll be doing the Rebirth Shrine / dungeon. and it's a maybe on the Arcane Labyrinth. You can actually access the labyrinth already. Like I said, it's a couple different dungeons, and they're throughout the world. So you don't have to beat the game in order to do that. But to get through some of the dungeons and use certain keywords, you do have to progress through the main storyline. So I'll consider it. I'll definitely give it a shot. I'll play it off camera and see if I'm interested in actually showing it off. So it's a maybe, a definite maybe on that particular part. We are about halfway through now the Cyclone. We only have a couple more floors to go, and then we'll get to the top and take on the Emperor. Alright, so we have a mini-boss, though, to take on, who is a monster in a chest, and he's actually on this floor. This is where I didn't come in the middle there, because it's all trap rooms. We have a chest up here to the north by the stairs. I'm going to save, and then open it. We get the useless wind flute, and then we take on the green dragon. Very large, very menacing. I wonder what I'm going to do. As usual, I'm going to try Mini. And I'm also going to boost my party members with special attacks using Berserk. So will Mini work? No, and missed. Wow. You're going to last 2 rounds then, Mr. Green Dragon. Or Miss Green Dragon, I guess. But yeah, now you're dead. That's the power of Berserk. I don't even have to use haste. And we get the Betrayal Fang, another useless item. So what do? Well, the Wind Flute causes a Earth Elemental, or actually Air Elemental attack, I think. And the Betrayal Fang causes Confuse, so not really worth it. What's key now is we're actually at the top. So we're going to take on the Emperor. Finally. He's been sitting behind the scenes, he's been causing all sorts of chaos and death, and now it's time for him to get his comeuppance. But of course, he's not going to take us on directly. He's going to make us go through a couple waves of Royal Guards first. So we're going to try to instantly kill these guys, try to minimize how much damage and time we take and or have to inflict on them. Let's see if we can kill him with teleport. Again, I haven't used teleport a ton, but it has about a 50% hit rate, so it is actually the most likely to hit of all of the instant death spells. So that's 1 round. We'll go a little closer here. Emperor's like, you know, yeah, I'm not ready yet still. Give me a little bit more time. Take on some more Royal Guards. This time, 2 of them. So we'll try again. Teleport, Berserk. Pretty standard. But we're almost there. Once we finish these guys off, well, then it's the Emperor. He is next. Alright, we only got 1 that time, but we have caused a lot of damage, so that Royal Guard goes down fast. But this is it. It's the moment you've all been waiting for, as we get another Poison Axe. Guess they want us dual-wielding Poison Axes. Yes, quite extraordinary. Don't underestimate us. You have to fight us directly. Notice he's roughly the same size as us in terms of his sprite. But now in battle, he is massive. He is huge. And there is no possible way, right, that he would be weak to Mini. We cannot use that exploit. There's no way we can destroy him instantly using the Mini spell. Right? The developers wouldn't do that, right? I mean, seriously, they wouldn't make the final boss of the game weak to Mini, would they? The power of Mini. Down he went. We killed the Emperor. That is it. We have won the game by beating the Emperor with the Mini spell. And we get another defender. That's awesome. And the Emperor being a final boss, he of course is going to explode. Huzzah! It's over! It's time to celebrate. And how do we celebrate in a Final Fantasy game? At least these early ones. Well, we have a dance party. So let's talk to Hilda and Gordon. They're going to thank us because we are the legendary heroes now that have saved everybody. We restored peace to the world. And yes, tales of our bravery will be told for generations to come. And it's time to celebrate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my final thoughts as we're finishing up the game here. So I'll let you enjoy this dance party as only Final Fantasy can do. And then once it's over, I'll come back and I'll talk about kind of what I thought about the game and also the post-game content. So enjoy! You thought that was the end? Come on. Your first clue should have been that he didn't have multiple forms, right? The final boss in a Final Fantasy game almost always has multiple forms. But basically, here's what's happened. Remember Leon? You know, that guy from way back at the beginning of the game? Maria's brother? Well, he was the Dark Knight. Go figure. The fact that Maria recognized the Dark Knight's voice, you know, that was, of course, some foreshadowing. And now Leon has sort of taken over the Empire. Once the Emperor was destroyed by us, well, we have to now go and take out Leon. It's going to be a little bit of sibling rivalry. Keep in mind, Furion is actually Maria's, I think, adopted brother. So they are siblings as well. Yeah, we have to assume that it's the Emperor that has kind of corrupted his mind. But you'd think, since we took out the Emperor, that that magic would end. But apparently not. So we need to go to Palamacia. And we've been there before. We went to the Colosseum. But when we went to the Colosseum, you might have noticed there was a kind of a castle in the mountains around the Colosseum. And that is ultimately where we need to go. That is where Leon is, kind of lording over everything. How are we going to get there? I don't know if our wyvern can actually fly up there. But Gordon is going to say, well, if you want to get in there, you should talk to Paul, of course. He's the guy we've had to talk to constantly. So I'm going to head over to the city, and we're going to talk to Paul and see if we can figure out a way to get into Palamacia. So we're in Fynn now. We are not under peace. We had hoped we were by beating the Emperor, but things got complicated. Our relationship status with the Empire now is complicated. So let's see what Paul has to say. Come here, Paul. And wait a minute, who's that guy down there? So Paul doesn't tell us anything. But the reason we came here was really to talk to Sid. Remember Sid? Creator of the airship? Well, he is on his final minutes of life. He got beat up pretty bad by the Cyclone. He's going to slowly walk to the bed. Sid is not okay. And so Sid is going to tell us, well, you can use my airship. I'm going to lend it to you. But he wants to make it clear that he's just lending it to us, even though he's dying. And how do we know he's dead? Well, dramatic music, and he will disappear. So that means we need to take the airship. It is currently in the ruins of Poft, and we will use the airship to access Palamassia. But first, I have to do some item management. I have to heal after going through the Cyclone, and I'll do all that off camera. And in my next episode, we will get the airship, which is the big red ball here, and we will fly to Palamassia to see if we can really end this war by taking out Leon, the new emperor, and stopping it for good. Thanks for watching, viewers. I'll see y'all next time. So long.